So the city of Oakland released a term sheet today, and I mean, I think it puts us in the right direction to keep the A's in Oakland. I don't know if it's necessarily positive because I've heard a lot of mixed things. I've heard, oh, the A's are moving, and then now I've also heard this is actually helping us because Libby Schaff, the mayor of Oakland, who doesn't really have a say if the A's are staying or leaving, although she is in charge of the city, so I guess she kind of is. But she was like, after this was released, she kind of said, "Oh yeah, this is a positive step to get the waterfront ballpark." So I think I don't really know what to think because this wasn't an egregious term sheet that the A's were just completely rejecting, but Dave Kaval did come out and said, we're not really agreeing to this, which is kind of expected. I mean, obviously they're still negotiating, so I don't think you're going to just agree with something right off the bat. That being said, I hope he doesn't, take that, mindset into further process because, I mean, assuming that the city council votes yes, the A's aren't necessarily staying. We still need them to move forward with the plan and actually break ground until we're 100% sure, where the A's are staying. But yeah, Cavill basically said, quote, "We remain far apart, and what was released today does not work for the A's. Lacks specifics, and a yes vote on that is a no vote on the project," Cavill said. It means we have no agreement at Howard Terminal, our last location to make Oakland work, end quote. And I mean, I think he's a little bit overreacting. I mean, yeah, you don't have to agree with the proposal, and I don't really, I mean, obviously, like I said, you're not going to because Oakland's probably asking for more resources than they need. But I mean, I don't think that necessarily means they're going to move. I don't think Cavill's just going to come out and say, yeah, because of this term sheet, we're going to move. Because at the end of the day, the term sheet isn't the most important thing. It's subject to change, and it will change. I mean, we have days before the vote, not many days, but we have a couple of days, and that a lot could happen in those couple of days. Um, either pro Oakland Stadium or against it. We don't know what's going to happen. But are some disagreements. Those are the issues. I mean, I think the term sheet was overall positive, but I think there are some issues because basically, like the disagreements kind of laid out were affordable housing and offsite infrastructure, and kind of sources for community stuff, which the A's don't really, want to pay, but there are certain laws and guidelines. But I think if you have the same optimism as Libby Schaff, you're gonna think they're gonna stay. And I think like I said, she has really no say in if they stay because she's not voting really unless it's a tie. So I mean, she's obviously going to be optimistic no matter what. But I think she said it's one step closer to making the world class ballpark a reality in Oakland. So I mean, I guess I don't know why she's being so optimistic, but that's what she says basically. But I mean, there are some disagreements, and that's an issue because basically the A's just need to get this vote on Tuesday, and I think they want to stay in Oakland because another thing is basically, the common misconception is that the A's want to move out of Oakland, and obviously that isn't true because if they wanted to move out of Oakland, they'd be like the Raiders and not even explore stadium options in Oakland. But the A's have explored multiple sites in Oakland. They narrowed their decision down to one at Howard Terminal, which I don't think is the best choice. I think the Coliseum would be, but besides the point, they've spent millions of dollars, if not tens of millions, maybe even hundreds of millions, trying to keep the A's here. And they have commercials that are saying vote yes. They have ads. I mean, they want to stay in Oakland. I don't think they want to move to Las Vegas, but I feel like, I kind of agree with them on that dealing with the Oakland government is impossible because, they're just so difficult to deal with. So I think they kind of feel like they're kind of come to a breaking point, but I don't think that's still justification to move, unless the stadium gets rejected. In that case, yeah, you're going to move, but let's hope that on Tuesday, the vote is yes, because that ultimately kind of decides the fate of the A's Oakland, tenure. So yeah, anyways, guys, that's going to be a really big day, July 20th, Tuesday. But let me know your guys' thoughts on this whole thing. And yeah, see you guys in the next one. Go A's.